Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. And before we start, just a quick reminder that if you do enjoy my stories and you want to see them in your feed every day, then just click subscribe and maybe that bell notification so that you know when I'm uploading a new video, which is every day. Now let's get started with today's main story. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user InDenial459. I, 24 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 25 male, for nearly 5 years. He is a Jehovah's Witness and his family still does not know about me. Hi, this is my first time posting, long time lurking. As the title says, I have been dating my boyfriend for nearly 5 years. We met at university. When I first found out he was a Jehovah's Witness, it was roughly 3 months into dating. I remember feeling like we were doomed from the start because of our religious beliefs. I'm Catholic, but only through the sacraments. My parents decided to place me in a Catholic school. I believe in a higher form, but I do not attend Mass at all, not even for Christmas or Easter. Living a religion-free life has been fine for me. Before we started dating, my boyfriend knew I was Catholic, but he chose to pursue me anyway. I asked him why he went after me when we had such different religious beliefs, and all he could say was, "I don't know, I just love being with you." I asked him if I could ever meet his family, and in more or less words, he said no. Only a few close cousins and friends know of me. Otherwise, it's like I don't exist in his world. My family and friends know all about him, but most don't know that he's a Jehovah's Witness. My mom asks me why I haven't met his family yet, and she thinks it's because we are of different ethnicities. I'm Chinese and he's Korean. She said she feels sad for me that I have to remain hidden in his life, like I am something to be ashamed of. I have tried to bring this up with him before, but he doesn't like to talk about it. I feel like I have to piece parts of the puzzle together and have him confirm it. For example, I came to the conclusion that he doesn't want to introduce me until he thinks we are ready to get married. He admitted that yes, that was the case. In order to be ready to get married, we would both have to be financially stable, especially him. He would want to be ready to support himself in case he gets shunned. We are both currently living at home. I finished university and he dropped out 2 years into it. I'm still at an entry-level job and he's worked odd sales jobs here and there. I'm feeling frustrated that he's not putting more effort into becoming independent so we can have a chance at a future together. He gets upset whenever I bring this up, and I start to feel like I'm nagging, so I drop the entire thing. If it weren't for the religion and it weren't for the career thing, also known as 2 major things, everything would be perfect. I'm happiest when I'm with him and I can confide everything with him. We're each other's first relationship and I don't want to throw it away on this. I want to make it work, but I feel like I'm the only one who can bring it up. I know he loves me and sometimes he'll say he knows he's taking me for granted and will do better. But I want to see him actually do better and not just say it. Now he's saying he wants to open his own business or go into real estate. I'm really sad. When I look 5, 10, etc. years down the road, I see him beside me. But not if I can't willingly be a part of his life. I don't know how to motivate him to work hard for what he wants, or if I will ever be accepted into his family. Is there anything I can do? I've been crying every night for the past week trying to figure out what to do, and I'm stuck. Okay, OP, this is going to be hard to listen to, but I gotta say it anyways. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say or come up with that will help him change the way you want him to change, because the thing is, he's the only one that can do anything regarding your situation. He's got this goal to be financially independent in case he gets shunned from the community, yet he is doing nothing to actively get there. It's all just blah blah and I want to do this and I want to do that without any follow through. How can you trust somebody who makes just a lot of empty promises but never follow through with any of them or doesn't even work towards the own goal that he set himself? My guess is that he feels just as stuck as you do because, well, for one, you want to spend the rest of your life with him. He wants to be with you, but his beliefs are just too strong. I don't think he's ready to leave his community. I don't think he'll ever be ready to leave his community. It's been 4 or almost 5 years, I think, and you don't even know his family because he's afraid or embarrassed to introduce you because of the repercussions that will fall on him. Opie, I know you say you don't want to give it up because it's been 4 or 5 years, but that's the sunk cost fallacy. You're going to stay in this relationship until it's already too late to pull the cord, and what are you going to do then? I think you need to come to terms with your reality and acknowledge that this situation is not going to change unless he does something, not just say it. In other words, Opie, I think your relationship has an expiration date or a time of death to be called very soon. And what do you guys think? How would you handle this situation? Would you keep trying or would you just call it quits? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Edgar says, 5 years and never met his family? I don't even know what to say. Regardless of his religion, he does not have enough respect for you if he feels he has to hide you for this period of time. If he plans to actually marry you, he would show it. Actions speak louder than words. I feel very sorry for you. And Opie responds, I know you are right. If I was reading this from an outside perspective, I'd think I was pathetic too. Well, at least you have self-awareness. That's good. BC Kane says, I think the big questions are, does he still identify as a Jehovah's Witness? And if not, does he plan on returning? If he is going to remain, then what future do you see yourself with him? He would need to actively leave in order to be with you. The career thing is different. That speaks more to his drive and work ethic. He isn't too young to turn it around, but you have to make that call. And Opie responds, he still identifies as a Jehovah's Witness. When I asked him if he's truly committed to his beliefs, he said he is. He's tried to not believe in it, but he does. Jay Palin says, if he's sincere, he's not going to want to be disfellowshipped, and that's going to happen if you don't convert to the Watchtower Society. Also, if you do convert, what if you have kids who need blood transfusions or other blood-based medical care? It can be hard for a convert to stick to that. And Opie responds, thank you for your advice. I agree, I do need to take a long look at my life right now too. I've pushed this off for far too long and I can't avoid it any longer. I'm scared. Alright, well, the community did bring up some pretty important points for OP to think about, and apparently she's agreeing that she needs to take a long look at her life right now and see what she has to do. Now, personally, I believe it's time to bring in old pragmatism and just make a decision based off of that. But as we all know, emotions and reason don't necessarily go hand in hand. In any case, it's time to move on with the update that is 4 years after the original post to see how OP is doing. But before that, if you're enjoying my video and the story so far, go ahead and click that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it so far. Now, let's carry on with that update. I'm 28 now, and up until 6 months ago, I was still with the same boyfriend. No, he still never introduced me to his parents, and I never met his sisters or his closest friends from church either. In fact, I only found out after we decided to break up that his parents knew about me at one point early on because someone caught us together in public and he lied and said we had broken up. It was an amicable breakup. I had no anger or hostility on my end. Our friends had just gotten married and dated for a similar amount of time as us, and I asked him if he could see that for us. He said he would like to, but couldn't see it happening. A couple of weeks went by, and I decided I was tired of being a secret and wanted to find someone who could be with me in public. All I wanted so desperately was to be able to hold someone's hand in public, and I was denied that for so long. He agreed and said he took up too much of my time. Really? And encouraged me to start dating to find someone. We stayed as friends up until 3 months ago when I felt ready to try looking for someone again. I met someone not too long after online and we really hit it off. I'm still seeing him to this day and things are going really well. Honestly, I can't believe my luck in finding him. We've discussed our history and what we want for our future, and we feel a sense of compatibility. It feels so good to finally not be a secret. I'm overjoyed. As for my ex, we finally went no contact 2 months ago. I could tell it made my new boyfriend uncomfortable how frequently we still talked, so I made the decision myself to minimize contact. My ex agreed and wished me the best. A week later, he asked to speak with me and said he had really thought about it and deeply apologized for keeping me a secret all this time, that he was willing to leave the church to want to be with me. I said no because I found someone who wanted to be with me, and we went on for too long. I still have no anger towards him, just a lot of sadness that we didn't work out and that it went on for as long as it did. Even though it was selfish of him to do that, he even mentioned he felt he had to do it so soon because he knew I was starting to see someone and it was becoming serious. I hold no ill will towards him. I think I will always care for him, but it took me leaving and finding someone else to make him realize what he had all along. When I think about how long 8 years is, I can't believe I hung in there that long. But we were 19 and 20 when we got together, and I had a whole "I'm young, this is fun, we're just having a good time together" mentality. We did have fun together, and we had a lot of mutual friends, which only continued to increase as time went by. That made it really hard to end things. I have lost a handful of good friends due to this, and it's been really hard to get through. I'm finally accepting that not everyone is in your life forever, that sometimes you can be good friends for a lengthy period of time, and that may be it. Sometimes people leave to make spaces for new ones. In hindsight, I don't think I would have gotten into this relationship knowing what I know now. But I don't have any regrets. We had some good times, and I look back without resentment or anger. I don't blame him for not leaving his faith. His entire family and closest friends are part of the community, and I'm simply one person, and that would have been a large burden on us if he did. I think he is a true believer in his religion, and sometimes I have to remind myself how deeply ingrained he was in it. It's not as easy as just deciding to leave as it is to declare bankruptcy. Haha, office joke, smiley face, coffee. Anyway, I posted this today because I saw a post about getting back together with an ex after 10 years together, and all the comments in the post resonated with me. He didn't really show any actions behind his words. I changed and I ended it. There was a reason I wanted to end it in the first place. I genuinely want to see him be happy with someone that he can be with freely and openly. But that person just isn't me. Previously, when I felt the weight of my history with him in comparison to my boyfriend now, I knew it was the feeling of going back to safety and comfort. It's not sustainable, and it's not something where anything can grow. It took me another 4 years from my last post to learn this lesson. I'm just content it didn't take me another 4 more. I'm so happy I decided to post and got so many kind replies. This means the world to me. Well, OP, let's just forget about the timeline and just be happy that you were able to make the choice that's best for you. You're in a better place now, in a new relationship, you're happy, and you've got a great outlook on the future. You hold no resentment, so you can just simply move on with any baggage. Good for you, OP. That is awesome. Not many people get to do that after being 8 years stuck in a relationship like that. So all that there's left to say is, OP, here's wishing you the best in the future. Thank you so much for sharing and take care. And now, let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user Hobbit Heartcase. Take my time over breakfast? Okay. Many years ago, I worked for a small managed service provider, MSP, as a repair technician in London. I was repairing desktops, laptops, and printers. It's pointless trying to drive in central London, so that the company would reimburse us for our monthly public transport ticket. As a result of this, we couldn't really carry spare parts with us like the guys with company cars elsewhere in the country, so that they would get delivered to the site. The usual routine was to go to the office in the morning and collect the parts for the first call. Then ask the store clerk to arrange delivery of the rest of my day's calls to the site in a set order. This would be the order that I had already planned to attend to travel for the day so that the parts would get there before me and I could crack on with the first one whilst they were being delivered. I'd usually be on site for the first one by 9:30 in the morning and would frequently manage 6 to 7 repairs per day. Obviously, this would depend on how much travel was involved, but all the techs would divvy up the calls first thing in the morning so that none of us were running around the city too much, and we were mostly based around one area for the day. We each had regular clients where we'd often go 2 or 3 times per week and knew the IT teams involved. Anyway, the MSP gets bought by a bigger MSP. We were told not to worry, I know, right? And that nothing would be changing as we were one of the most productive regions in the business. And for a bit, it was everything as normal. Then the manager announces that he's leaving. I bumped into him about a year later at random, and he said that this was due to politics. A new Golden Boy manager is parachuted in from up north to transform us. Apparently, we might be the most productive team, but we weren't the most profitable. He devises several methods to decrease costs and raise profitability. First off, the closure of the office and relocation of the stores to somewhere central. This is basically the other end of the country, so shipping has to be done the night before. Our techs are not too happy about this. Second, he wants us all to use cars, our own cars. He can't force this as the travel ticket is written into our contracts and he can only change the contract with our agreement. To a man, we say no. What he can do is change the shipping routine. The new process is that parts will be delivered to a commercial locker at locations in the city and we have to go and pick up the parts before heading to our first call. Cue malicious compliance. We are well aware of the performance of the new owner's chosen shipping company and usually reserve them the nickname UK Fail, as they never seem to hit service level agreement. Further, the lockers are located in various strange locations, on the streets, petrol stations, and random courier offices, kind of like how Amazon lockers are now. But without the nice paint jobs or electronic entry. They have no way to keep tabs on who is where or collecting what aside from calling us. Anyway, there's a quick get together and we agree that as the Golden Boy hasn't helped us and isn't hiring replacements for those who left, we aren't obligated to help him. The plan is no one is going to attend a locker until 10:30, which is the SLA for parts delivery. No one is to carry more than one bag of parts. If you have to do multiple trips to a locker, so be it. No one is to pick up any slack for anyone else. Answer calls for help if someone is in trouble though. Do what you have been assigned if possible and never call in to say that you have finished all your calls for the day. Anything that gets left over gets left. If you get assigned an emergency call, some clients had SLAs that required a tech on site in a given time, usually 4 hours, go there and wait for parts as usual. Communicate this to any new hires during their training days. Productivity plummets. Golden Boy calls meetings and generally loses it. But hey, we're just following his procedure, right? Within 12 months, Golden Boy is gone, and the new guy has the sense to ask us what would be a better way to run things. Well, Golden Boy wanted it his way and his way only, and well, that's exactly what you guys did. Like, as a rule, you should know that if you're entering into a team that you know nothing about, you kinda ask them what's the best way to do things, and then you can try to find things to improve or not. But I guess Golden Boy didn't know that. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.